All right. So my friend offered me a job. Well, asked if I wanted a job at Nexiant. So I need to make a node.js server. Which means less game programming stuff. Maybe I'll do some PNG decoding stuff later. But I do need to put some time into making a website. And I also need a company website, anyways. So I'm gonna get into that and just see where all this goes. Um, so first thing is I'm gonna need a project, and I don't know where I'm gonna put all this. So I'm just gonna make TODO node.js server, and I'm gonna put this on the other monitor once I figure out a place to save it. So let's see, repo drive. Heroku stuff, and new folder. All right, and then server.js. Okay, so let's see what I can remember from memory, and then we'll just fill it in as we go. So we got const, and we'll try to do this as normal as possible. Let's actually, what do we got here? What monitor is this? Why is it like that? Left. This one. Okay. Let's move this. We can move it like that, so we can see the path. That might be helpful to me, but I don't need this stuff at the top. Okay. So const http equals, I believe, require http. And then we also need a const pg equals require and pg. So this is our database driver for node postgres, and then http. So yeah, I don't really know. Let's just take a guess. So I think it's like const server equals http dot create server, and then like server dot listen, right? And then within here we're gonna have a callback that takes the request and the response. Server request and server response. We'll do it like that. We're going to be more long-handed and try to be a little bit less OCD. Since an employer might actually look at this. So I'm going to just try not to be too weird in my conventions for how I'm doing things. I think I'll keep my semicolon habit of double semicolons when the statement is not on the same line. But other than that, I'm going to try to tone down the weirdness. Server request, server response, just because there's a response object in Postgres, so we don't want to just call it response. And then server response dot end and hello world. Right, so we create a server with a handling function inlined in there, and then what we can do is and I guess we should probably do it in the idiomatic way. So, well, no, dot listen, and then we'll put the port here. and it'll be a little bit more verbose, so we'll call it server port. And const server port equals process.env.port. That way, if we now, guess that doesn't really do it. If I like highlight this portion, the other portions will, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so we got something basic. I'm pretty sure the syntax is wrong, but we can compare it to an actual server. New node.js server. Let's see what my code actually says. Server and new node.js server. And I don't have a snippet for that, so I'm going to go look that up. So I'm going to check out my GitHub really quick, because I have some examples of how that is done. And then we'll kind of like correct my server.js, kind of like based on what I got wrong. So process.environment.port, that's good. And equals 5190. So I use the AOL Instant Messenger port for local because it's pretty safe for now to know that it's not going to be used, since AOL Instant Messenger does not exist anymore. So it's like good for me. Okay. So with our server.listen, I thought it was server.listen. Maybe I was wrong there. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of my code. Routing functions. H12 and the route. Create server.listen. Okay, so there is a listen. So port http.create server. Do we do http.create server? Yep, http.create server. .listen on the port. Oh, and we just inlined it here. Okay, yeah, so this looks good. The one thing I am missing is a connection information for the Postgres, but I think so far we're good. So we can do const database credentials, and that will equal an inlined object, and we'll say connection string and server port. Actually, not server port. Or actually, so we'll need the database URL, and then we will need SSL and reject. Unauthorized is false, because we're not worried about we're not worried about people. We're not worried too much about security right now, so we'll just set this to false. We're not worried about people spoofing our server or saying there's somebody else when they're not. Okay, so let's create a let's try to keep this cleaner. So we will do something like just simple lines that'll divide sections. And we'll try not to get too decorative, so we'll only use the lines to actually divide sections. So we'll say constants, and then we will have another section for functions. Functions. Right. So do this. Constants, functions. That way it's kind of lean, not too cluttered. I'll take this shortcut and say to do okay, so this looks like the kind of the basics we need. Also, we're gonna need we can do it with npm, but let's just do it here. So package.json. There's gonna be dependencies object, and I know that we're gonna need Postgres. I forgot how semantic versioning works, so I believe we can just do a star and that'll give us anything. And what else? I think we just need that. I probably have some syntax wrong there, but we'll just do what we can do and then fix it later, because that'll help us remember. Package.json. Okay, and then I'm going to make a note in my shortcuts. I want a new package JSON, new node.js package. Okay. All right. So we got that, and now we need, as soon as possible, we just need to get something running. So we could actually write it like a little build script. So first time setup as script for example purposes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a project on Heroku. And hold on, new Heroku project. So I'm looking through my documentation, and new Heroku project. Git clone Heroku node.js example. Okay, so I'm just fixing up some shortcuts here. So new Heroku project. Try more. Okay. So it's been a while. Inserted. Visit date 2020. Oh wait. Okay, just making some notes in my shortcuts. Because the way I used to do this was I used to just clone an example, and now I'm starting from scratch. So my shortcuts were wrong for my shortcut called New Heroku Project. So I'll need to fix that later. To do. So I believe it's going to be like Heroku create, Heroku apps create, and something else. So Heroku apps create, and then what about Heroku apps create with name? And Heroku apps create with project name. Heroku apps create -- name. Name here, no keyword. Oh, got ya. So there is no name keyword. So I don't have to. I can just make up anything I want because there isn't actually a name keyword. So let me say, okay, so it's going to be Heroku apps and colon create and no name, just okay. So Heroku apps create, and we will call it node.js Andrew. Well, okay, so actually people are going to look at this. I need to think about what I'm going to call it for Nexian. So I'm going to call it John's Node.js for John Mark's Node.js for Andrew Beers. So I'm going to call it pretty long, but that way when they look at the URL, they'll actually see, they'll kind of see that, because Andrew told me I could use his name as a recommendation. So I'll just put that in there, right? So I'll kind of link my name to his, and yeah, I think that works. So after we create the app, we're gonna need Heroku add-ons, create Postgres hobby dev, something like that. Let's try Heroku add-ons. Heroku add-ons. Heroku add-ons SQL. Heroku add-ons something. Heroku add-ons something. New Postgres server. Database. Okay, so I don't remember what it is, so we're gonna just look it up. So add I'm gonna put my search term in here as well. So add PGSQL Heroku. And look at that. My fucking search term is what it is. So we will take all these. Heroku add-ons create hobby dev -- version name. And I believe we can actually add a name here to this. So add PG SQL Heroku with name. Add named database Heroku. So I believe it's like something like, and actually we could do, if I go into source code I've already written before, I believe in one of these I had like a how to deploy. Okay, yeah, so we can do, what we're gonna do is Heroku add-ons create, and we can do like a back tick, and we can break this line up a bit. So it's hobby dev, and we're actually gonna go with version 12, and then -- and then app is going to be John Marks node.js for Andrew Beers. And then -- name is, so this is the database. And so alright, so we'll just call it that. And these backticks need to be there because we need to extend these lines. So what we'll do is we'll go like this, and if we keep this, that means there'll have to be a blank line at the end for that to actually work. But we'll take that, we'll take all these, and we'll put those in our shortcuts really quick. So I'll just so next time I want to do this, it'll be much faster because I'll have those there for me. And I will paste that reference into my shortcuts. I actually need a file, so file new. That's C files, Heroku, snip. Alright, so full file path to clipboard. And we should name it something like Heroku add-ons create, and then Heroku PGSQL. So Heroku add-ons create, Heroku PGSQL, HD for hobby dev. Alright. And then I'll need a edit as well. Okay, so this is kind of slow. I'm just taking notes as I go. Okay, so that looks good to me. Looks like we spelled something wrong here. Hack Heroku postgresql. Okay. Note taking. Maybe I should stop. I don't know. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's save this, and we'll just say first time setup script.sh. And what else do we need? So we'll say provision database, and provision virtual machine on Heroku. Okay, so we'll try that and see how that goes and see what happens in the terminal. Enter to exit script. Okay, so yeah, let's try that, and we'll just see what happens here. So, open containing folder, and we'll just double-click this thing and see what we screwed up. Hopefully nothing, right? I'd say I screwed up something. Oh, maybe not. Creating John Mark's node.js for Andrew Beers. Name is too long. Maximum is 30 characters. Okay. So, we'll try to 30 characters, huh? Maximum, huh? Okay. So, what we're going to do is, I didn't think I would have to be OCD like this, but since I guess I need a max of 30 characters, we're going to count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm assuming that the dashes also count. So 10, 20, 30, there is our limit. Max 30 chars. Just a little note. So alright, so from John Mark to Andrew Beers. Or actually, you know what? I need a server for Decton, so we might actually want to just start working on the company website and kill two birds with one stone. So, I don't know if I'll have that, but we'll just see. We'll just see if that works, and hopefully it does. That's pretty short, and could not fork process, not enough terminals. Oh boy. Control-Delete. Task manager. Yes. Let's look at... All right. I don't know if that worked. I killed it in the task manager, but that might... okay, so I might have to restart my machine here. Not enough terminals. Not enough consoles. Not enough consoles. Not enough. No bash terminals. Could not fork child process. Okay. Killing the bash process worked for me. Okay. ssh.exe. sshagent.exe. So let's Control-Alt-Delete here. So really I need to remember to close my consoles properly. But let's see if we can ssh.exe. Where was that? Okay, yeah, I thought when I moved this screen over to a new monitor, I lost my position. Okay, so we will do Windows command prompt, which I rarely use, and we'll do task list and task list /f/ssh.exe. Oh, that's task kill /f/im ssh.exe. ssh.exe can't be found. Task list task list system domain password filter. Oh, fi for filter. So task list /fi and bash. Search filter cannot be recognized. Task list /fi bash. Task list filter. Alright, I don't want to get too carried away with task list and whatnot. I'm just going to restart the computer. It's, yeah, I don't want to get too carried ahead of myself, so I'm just going to take that, paste it in my notes, and I'm going to restart the computer, unfortunately, and see where I can go from there. And I will just put where I left off 2020 0808 left off 2020 0808 edit file. Okay, so save that. I saved my place. I'm just gonna close everything, and I'll be back.